For most of the past 30 years, Larry Strickland has built his technology career by making innovative technology simple for the end user and helping them solve their most challenging issues. Larry is the Chief Product Officer for DataKinetics, and he's joining me today to talk about the results of the Planet Mainframe user survey.
But the general trends are going to be one of the mainframe still is the most performant platform out there. It's more secure, it's more reliable, and it probably uses less space, less people, less energy as well, right? So that underlying the answers to many of the questions, that base platform that is just so reliable was there, right? As much as some workloads are moving off, others are heavily reliant on that high capacity. Right, the largest transaction volumes in the world are running on the mainframe, and it's for a reason, right? Because that platform's so strong and so big. So. Yeah, you saw that in the more APIs being developed, more integration to the cloud, and it makes sense because you've got a lot of people interacting with the data that's on the mainframe for web applications, and typically those web applications are built on different systems, but the data they're relying on, that core data that we need to make sure it's safe and make sure it's there and make sure it never gets lost or corrupted, that's all sitting on the mainframe. So as much as some of the applications are moving off, the core piece in the background that everybody's so reliant on to keep the economy running, well, that's the mainframe. So. I think the biggest challenge is going to be security. As AI helps people do things more rapidly, it also helps the, let's say, the malicious actors do a better job of what they're trying to do as well. So I think the security threat is going to be forever increasing, and as our applications get spread across multiple platforms and get larger and more complicated, there's more opportunity for them to be attacked. Security has always struggled to get maybe the focus it deserves. It's an age-old problem, I think. Like it's not fancy, it's not sexy, it's not putting a new widget in front of somebody that they're all excited about showing them. It's actually sitting in the background. When security is doing its job, you don't see it, right? Like it isn't upfront and personal, right? So yeah, I understand the mentality, right? We're all trying to do more, but the stuff you can see generally is rewarded better than the stuff you can't. So. I think they're actually going to create more security issues than they're going to solve, to be honest, right? Well, AI, letting the machines find the patterns, which is what AI is doing. It's finding the patterns and repeating the patterns that we've, as humans, have done in the past. It can free us up to do other things. So maybe the best thing AI can do is free us up to focus more on security. I don't know. I'm still really curious as to the outcome of where AI is going to take us. It shows an awful lot of promise, but and you hear a lot of the success stories, but what I'm not hearing is all the failures, and they must be there, right? People must have tried, oh, we could do this with AI, and it didn't work, right? So I am curious as to where it's going to end up. What's going to become mainstream? What are our kids going to learn in school about AI because it's just part of their lives? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but yeah, I don't actually see it helping much with security. As I said, I think it's going to hurt us on the security side. So.
Is there a place it is helping us now?
AI?
Yeah.
I think AI used judiciously for development teams is very powerful. The developers are still needed. It's not like the developers' intelligence that get applied to what's happening isn't very important, but they can do it more efficiently. The AI can take away some of their more mundane tasks. It can create stuff for them that they can then use, but ultimately I think that they're the ones that need to make the decision as to what goes in and what doesn't go in to any code base. But I think the AI, as I said, the AI can make those developers more productive. Yeah, it's a challenge, right? And I don't think this is exclusive to the mainframe business. Any industry is struggling with attract and retain. Maybe not necessarily the attraction, but once you get them, retaining. I've noticed that the younger generation tend to switch careers more frequently than maybe we did when we were younger. It is the nature. I think it's something we're going to have to adapt to. And I think key to that will be training and maybe the right AI tools as well, to make those people that do come into the industry more productive, more quickly, and don't have this expectation that they're going to be there for 20 to 30 years. Work out how somebody can be productive over a 5-year span, and then maybe find other parts that they can help and move them on there. As I said, it's a more mobile workforce than it used to be. So it is. I mean, once you've put that effort in, so understand moving some applications off the mainframe isn't something you do in an instant. This takes years, often decades, to actually get certain workloads off the mainframe. So once you've gone through all that effort, it's probably just as much effort to turn it around. So it is unlikely, if you've made that decision, whenever you made that decision, rightly or wrongly, if you made that decision to move the workload off the mainframe, it is extremely unlikely you're going to say, oh, let's go and do all that work all over again to move it back, right? You might find some of the core components come back, and to your point, those core transactions that just absolutely have to complete and have to be reliable, they're often running on the mainframe, even if the rest of the workload moved off. So yeah, as I said, it's it's almost a psychological question. Why wouldn't you move move the workloads back onto the mainframe? And it's, well, I made the decision to move it off. Why would I make the decision to move it back? Yeah, it's rather than workloads going off and running off the mainframe and then someone saying, oh, we should repatriate this and move it back. I don't think that happens. I think what does happen is you'll get years into these big projects to move stuff off the mainframe, and they fail and they give up. So you never actually moved the workload. You just attempted to move the workload and failed. That's a statistic I'd like to see, is how many projects trying to get workloads off the mainframe have failed. I've heard rumors of many of them, like massive moves to Amazon Cloud, having to go back to the mainframe because it just couldn't manage the scale needed that can be managed by the mainframe. Yeah, there's a statistic I'd like. How many attempted workloads to move off the mainframe failed? So.